Today I'm going to teach you how to shoot fast and how to shoot far with AK. Yes, even an average AK could be extremely accurate at 500 yards and even past that. Even 3 MOA AK easily will get you on a 500 yards IPSC size target. Why IPSC size? Because the IPSC size is basically a human torso, and the 3 MOA at 500 yards is roughly 15 inches. So 15 inches radius. To show you, this is the 15 inches will be the kill zone on that size of the target. Absolutely no sweat for most of the AKs. But first, you have to get off the belly. Once you leave that flat range in the real world, you rarely will have an opportunity to shoot from prone. Why? Because of the vegetation, terrain, and so on. Just because you are not in the prone doesn't mean you have to be unstable. I'm working daily on this farm in the woods, shooting off rocks, fence posts, gates, and so on. Learn how to use what the terrain offers to you. I can guarantee you, even in the desert, you can find the props which will help you to support your rifle. In order to clear vegetation, most likely you will have to be at least at the kneeling level like I am right here. So we're going to talk about it, how you can utilize the supported kneeling position to squeeze out most out of your AK. My left knee is to the ground and my right knee is raising up, so I can put my elbow to the meaty part of that leg for my rear support. Now my left hand is extended to the rifle, and my rifle, as you guys can see, rests on the partial fence post. Now I'm going to utilize that post to squeeze out most stability out of this position. Rifle is pressed to the post, resting on that mag here on the level of the post, and now I can get comfortably behind the rifle, and I have almost, guys, no movement of the reticle when utilizing this post. Back, my right knee and the left knee to the ground, and look how much I grew off the ground, and I can still engage and destroy all the targets down the field. It is a good moment to pinpoint something very important when setting up your rifle. No matter what you're putting on it, try to keep the rifle balanced as much as you can. If the rifle is diving nose forward, that's not good, right? Because then you're going to try to compensate behind it and fight to keep the rifle in balance. The same on the opposite side. If your buttstock is too heavy and you're falling down, then you're trying to compensate with your body and influencing the rifle, and that will probably introduce shaking into the your picture of the target. Your reticle will be jumpy, and you're basically going to squeeze out the bad shot. So all I'm trying to say is try to balance your rifle as much as you can. Sometimes it's not possible to have a perfect balance, but try to balance it as much as you can. Whatever you're putting, make sure that you're really needing it. But what if we have to grow away from the ground even higher than kneeling position? That is happening often in the terrain too, and we're going to talk about now the standing position and how I go behind the rifle and what I'm doing. First, when I'm seeing the targets, I have already good idea which prop or what kind of support I can use. In this situation, I can use that piece of log. I'm going to take my rifle and I'm going to raise it slightly up, looking at the targets, right, controlling the range, resting the rifle strongly on that support beam, and then I'm getting behind the rifle. Quick note about those Stoic Solution bags. They working beautifully, guys, for the situations like this, because you can always carry them with you hanged to the rifle. If you don't have any support or anything else, you don't want to carry that big bag I had. This is the best solution, like in the wild world, because then you got that bag always with you, and the rifle doesn't have to support either on the rail, on the handguard. Trust me, it's always better when you have that cushion on something. Anyway, I'm placing the rifle strongly and driving it forward if that front support, standing support, is strong. Now I want to get behind the rifle, and I'm going to push the rifle slightly forward, so I'm securing basically the rifle with my shoulder. Now if I have to adjust the height, because sometimes you're not at the perfect height because of your prop height, right? So you can accomplish this by doing that. Check this out, guys. I can control my height by either moving the legs closer or spreading my feet more out. And how low you can go, it will depend on how flexible you are. But again, you can really lower your rear end and the whole front body here by spreading those legs out. Or if you want to raise up, you can move them closer and you are raising up. I want to point out one more thing. I talked already a little bit about the rifle connection with the buttstock. If you have a solid, firm support, yes, you can put that pressure, you can push that rifle forward a little bit more and lock it in your position. Sometimes that's not really doable. For example, when shooting off the gates like to swing, right? So you're not going to have a lot of options to put that pressure on. We still want to lock the rifle to our body. So in order to do that, I'm going to put, of course, the hand on the pistol grip, and I'm going to drive the rifle backwards to me. How much? Basically the weight of the rifle. That's how much force you need. So this is a good solid foundation. If you don't have a luxury of the solid prop you shooting off, you have to remember the one thing. More stress you're going to start pushing either or pulling, the more movement of the reticle or iron sights you're going to have on the rifle. So you have to balance it. Sometimes you have to compromise the recoil management for the stable position. And the key is, guys, if I don't have a shot, and most likely if I don't have a shot, it's because I don't have a stable position, I do not take that shot. And the reasons are very simple. It's the fight is never won by someone who shoots first, right? But by who hits the target first, either in competition, hunting, or whatever the situation may be. So if you don't have a good shot, don't take it. So what happens after the shot is made on the AK? First of all, you're going to have the recoil just from the bullet traveling from the chamber right through the barrel and exiting the barrel. Then there is another interesting component. The whole bolt carrier is moving towards you, and you have that impulse from the bolt carrier. Fortunately, 7.62 by 39, even when in 7.62 family, the recoil on it is not that bad, and you can completely manage the recoil. I already talked about the rifle connection to your body, about the pushing the buttstock to your body or pushing the rifle towards the prop if the prop is stable and solid like that one is. But there is one more thing what you can do. If you do have that nice and stable position, I often put my left hand right here and try to control that recoil even better. And why we need to control the recoil, or why we are striving to control the recoil and be really good at the recoil management, because if we will miss, we want to spot where that miss went so we can quickly correct for it and get back on the target. But even if you will hit, you should be able to spot your hit on the target and maybe make some micro adjustments based off the wind and things like this. Now guys, when shooting AK in 7.62 by 39 at the extended ranges, 500 yards, I want to point out something to you. You basically have almost a full second for that bullet to fly to the target, so you can easily get back after the shot was made, control that recoil, get back on the optic and spot hopefully a hit, the worst case scenario miss, so you can make a correction. And the time of flight will be between 0.8, 0.9, depends where you guys are at, what's your elevation and things like this. But as I said, it's almost a full second. That's way more than enough time to tame that beast, get back behind it, get back on the optic and see what's happening. And this is one of the main reasons why I love using the optics on AK, because with the naked eye and irons, it's rather hard to spot your misses at the 500 yards. And trust me, I do shoot iron sights up to 700 yards too in the competitions, but that's a subject for a different video. Guys, we barely scratched the surface here, but if you like topics like this, if you would like to see more videos like that, please let me know in the comments so I know what's happening with you. Also, if you have any questions, comment below the video as well. I will keep checking those comments for at least first 24 hours, and I will try to reply to your questions as quickly as possible. As always, thank you for watching. See you in the next video.